Sarah's in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Want to thank you, first of all. My husband and I found you a few years ago and didn't realize how much debt we were in with student loans and everything. And in the past 4 years, we've paid off $160,000 of debt. And except for our house, we're completely debt-free. So
Way to go.
So
Good for you.
you do.
Way to go.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And with home values, we have a ton of equity in our home now. So it's great.
Good.
So we're at the point now, so we own a small business. We have a handyman at home, repair home services business. For the first few years, it was my husband, then we hired a guy. Now we've got two teams with two vehicles. Vehicles are both completely 100% paid off. But we got so busy over the last couple years, we realized we really need to hire admin people. So in the last few months, we hired one office manager. He's doing all the invoices, all the stuff we used to do around the clock, answering phones, estimates, invoices, and one person that's handling, marketing and promotions and our website and all that good stuff.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, so it's exciting and it's growth, but it's also the first time we've really had overhead where, even if our guys aren't in the field working, we're still paying them salary to be in the office. So it's cutting it a little closer than normal, and we have plenty of business. We have a great reputation. We have the work, but we need to, in order to get to the next level in our business, we need to have a third team, hire two more guys, get another vehicle. And then again, that would add about, our projections would add about another 80 to 100,000 in revenue, to add another team on. But our problem lies in the vehicle. Right now in the short term, cars are appreciating in this weird market where supply and demand is all wonky, and cars are supposedly going up in value to where we've been searching for months for a Chevy Express, a small box truck, or a Ford Transit. And we just bought one in cash 2 years ago for $25,000. Now they're selling for $45,000 or $50,000. And we don't have that much cash, just to buy it outright.
Oh, wait a minute.
We don't want to go into debt.
The car market has gone bizarre, but it has not doubled. For the same exact car, it did not 25 to 40 or 50. You were trying to get a better car than the last one you bought.
Well, no, they're exact same. So we bought a Ford Transit, a 2018, and we bought it right at the beginning of 2020. It had 15,000 miles on it. We've put 30,000 miles on it since then. And those same exact car, if we sold it tomorrow, on Facebook Marketplace or on Car Gurus, they're selling for 43 to 45,000. With the extra miles. In used condition, they're selling for more. So we're either going to get that car, or we could go up to a Chevy Express, a little bit bigger box truck, but those are only selling for 48 to 50. So we could definitely get a smaller car because we're looking for a used one.
Do you have the money?
We have $22,000 in our emergency fund, so not all of it.
Wait a minute, this is not an emergency. This is not an emergency.
Exactly.
You can't use your emergency fund to grow your business. It's not an emergency.
Very true.
So you don't have the money. So you don't have the money.
Okay.
So you don't buy the truck. You don't have the crew.
So continue to save. Just wait.
Yeah. You need to make some money to grow your business. Cash. Your business should grow with money it makes.
Yeah.
So you guys don't do any retained earnings or anything like that? No savings?
Savings, our personal account, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Do you have any money saved that is not retirement accounts?
Oh, just the $22,000 our emergency fund, and then the equity in our home.
So you don't have the money to do this deal. You shouldn't even be talking about this.
And that's your personal emergency fund, or is this just for the business?
I mean, it's our personal emergency fund. Yeah.
They don't have a business emergency fund. They don't have any money.
When it's a small it's a small business, it's one and the same.
Yeah. So here's what's happening. Okay. You're about to step into the classic trap that small business people do all the time. You're about to. You've gotten so excited about this, and you built it up in your head that you're about to step over into stupid to expand your business.
Okay.
And you're about to go into debt to buy a dadgum truck to add crews, and you're not even going to break even on it for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, And the only reason we're not trying to justify it, but we would never do that with a personal vehicle. It just sits in the driveway. This is going to make us money. This would, if we add another crew, that's 80 to 100,000 revenue. So we were thinking, well,
that is justifying it.
We have,
that is justifying it.
Yeah,
that's the very definition of justifying it.
Okay.
You're rationalizing your butt off.
The budget where
you're rationalizing your butt off
in like a year.
You're going to do this no matter what I tell you.
Well,
Please don't do it. Please, I beg you. I've grown a $300 million business with cash that the business made 1 year at a time for 30 years. I have not ever borrowed money. I'm sitting in a studio that cost $2 million just for the freaking studio. And I needed the studio to broadcast, but we didn't do this until we could pay cash for it. And that way, when the freaking pandemic hits and all revenue stops, I don't go out of business because I don't have debt hanging around my neck for an overpriced truck. Please don't do this.
Okay.
Please. Now, here's what you do need to do. I think your prices are too low.
Okay.
You haven't raised your prices at all in the last 3 years, have you?
Actually, we have.
How much?
We have twice.
How much?
It used to be, like 60 an hour per guy, and then it was 80, and now it's almost 95 an hour.
You're doing better than I guessed. I was wrong. You're doing better than I guessed. Because so your margin should be going up on all this paid for stuff then, and it shouldn't be that close.
It is, yeah.
So what's your top line? What's your gross revenues?
It's about 240,000.
Okay, and what'd you net on that you paid taxes on?
140.
That's a great margin. It's a great margin. Okay, out of 140, I want you to start saving money to buy a used van to add the third crew. And when you have the money, add the third crew. But not until you until you have the money. Listen, here's the thing. The businesses that stay open don't run out there on the edge of thin ice borrowing money in order to expand as if there's no tomorrow, because there is a tomorrow and it might have a pandemic in it. And then you get yourself in a crack. And just don't do this. Don't do it.
And you guys, you paid off $160K in 4 years. And that tells me you're not scared of doing the hard work. And so how quickly could you save up 40 grand?
If you did that, that's 40 grand a year they did it. So, 40, 50 grand you can save in a year based on that ratio, and you can go pay cash for this van. I got to tell you, she sounds like she's done the research on the van. I'm having a real hard time believing that, but it may have happened. I may just be that much out of touch. I am aware cars have gone up considerably on the short term here, but I was not aware. And, maybe the construction business is completely booming out of control too, and that's running
those types of vehicles.
It's doubling the pressure on the vans more than just normal.
And I'm wondering,
used car pressure.
Could you get a cheap pickup truck for now that'll do the job just for right now? I don't know what you really need to do this.
I don't have any idea, but I pay cash for whatever you're going to do. And, you do not justify this. You just worked to get out of debt. And then you called me trying to get back in debt. What did you expect me to do?
And what happens is they go, well, if we got 2 trucks, Dave, then we could have $200K more because and then it starts to get out of hand.
If you got 8 trucks, but then you got $800,000 in debt.
You start to get starry-eyed about the potential revenues without looking at the risk.
There's things you don't know what you don't know until you're there, and then you're going to learn. Please, you're just adding so much risk.
And they've worked so hard to get out of this debt on their personal side.
Sure, go back in. Well, it's all personal debt. Believe me, they're not loaning that little business any money at the bank. They're loaning that woman money. She'd be signing personally. Don't do this. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
You got Dave crying now. It's a bad situation. Don't cry, Dave.
No,
just
whining. Just whining.
There's a difference.